Whether it be happiness, depression, red or blue, colors and emotional state are intrinsically linked. This provides the basis for color psychology, which is the study of color and how humans perceive it. This science can be used in marketing and products and placebos in medicine. Colors have also been linked for certain advantages in sports, depending on the sport's color, as well as lower crime rates using blue lights in Glasgow. Color psychology even influences how certain foods taste. Now, color psychologists help discover which colors elicit which emotions. Red is a color of action and anger, while blue is a color of soothing. These colors influence the mood one can be in, which is why it's such a powerful tool, as it also affects mental health, as it's been shown that people with depression tend to see the world in more dull colors. It is this science I wish to talk about in the game Limbo. Limbo is a game that has a very mute color scheme that consists of mostly three colors: white, black, and gray. White is a color that represents purity, and represents newness and perfection. This can be seen in how wedding dresses and special occasions are almost always done in white, and how new sheets of paper are also white, and because of how bright the color naturally is. Black is a different beast. It's associated with power, elegance, and formality, but it's also associated with death, evil, and mystery. A mysterious color associated with fear and the unknown. This can be seen in how people wear black for mourning, but how we also named the plague the Black Death. It's also a result of the absence of light, resulting in the unknown, something humans are predisposed to fear due to it being potentially a dangerous factor. And the color gray is an unemotional color. It is detached, neutral, and impartial and indecisive. It is subdued and a mix of black and white. Gray is also associated with age and decay. This is the color that depressed and anxious people notice most in day-to-day life. It is also the color of monotony in a gray world. Color can also be used to convey lighting. A darker color palette gives the feeling of a moody or atmospheric setting. There is a reason that the haunted house in every movie is a deep black, brown, or blue, and not a bright yellow or green. And which is why Limbo decided to use the three colors that I mentioned before. Now, let's look at the game and its actual themes. The game is a slow-paced puzzle platformer that requires thought and for the player to slow down. This is a game that you cannot rush through and need to sit down and soak in the surroundings, which are not very happy. You play as a young boy trapped in a forest in the edge of hell, or limbo, who can meet very violent and sometimes cruel deaths. You're looking for your sister, and along the entire way, you're running into traps and giant spiders, of course, my mortal enemy, and loneliness. The music is somber, slow, and atmospheric, utilizing a low tempo, causing you to think of every decision, as well as deep, long notes, giving you a sense of being watched and a long sense of being lost. It also gives you a sense of danger depending on which song they use. The other people you encounter are either crazy, dead, or trying to kill you, setting the tone for the game. Sadness and loss, being alone to yourself. The entire game, from its gameplay, setting, and music, are all trying to get you to focus on the world, and it's the colors that completely sell its atmosphere. The white can represent the innocence of the boy and his pureness, and a sense of hope to the world. The black represents death and fear of the unknown, as it surrounds and hides dangers, being used to show empty pits and mask the faces and of the people you encounter, getting rid of their humanity. The gray gives a sense of emotionalness and a lack of empathy, a sense of complete depression. All of these themes the game is trying to evoke. The game also gives a sense of contrast in its use of color, manipulates the player into feeling these emotions, giving you an overall feeling of oppression, something many games can certainly try to achieve, but at many times ultimately fail. The colors in the game are also a mechanic in themselves, with the light fading from your character's eyes being a visual cue of death and life fading, as well as light, whether from fire or sparks or other sources, are cues and clues as to what platforms you can leap on, providing assistance to play. All in all, Limbo's a very somber game, and its color palette conveys it in a very interesting way. Not just through its unique and interesting contrast, but through utilizing psychology to manipulate our minds and emotions. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this episode, and sorry if my voice sounds a bit scratchy, I'm a bit sick while recording this, but I'll catch you guys next time on whatever I upload next.